thank you. As I said earlier, I had opened up for the Sex Pistols. I was in a band called the Nuns a long time ago. Oh my God is right. That's what my mother said too at the time. The Nuns were really more of a party than a band, really. We only got together because my friends and I were making a movie about the worst band in the world. And since we couldn't play, we became that band. And that band became the Nuns. And the only thing that we're really ever famous for was that we opened up for the last Sex Pistols show at Winterland in San Francisco. And, all right, thank you. There's one Sex Pistols fan. And, you know, afterwards, Sid Vicious, who you may have heard of, came over to our house, and we, you know, drank tea and crumpets, traded baseball cards, that kind of thing, knitting. And anyway, we spent the night hanging out, and that was the last I saw of Sid for a while. We then went to New York City, and we lived at the Chelsea Hotel for a while, you know, on 7th and 23rd. And one day I came down from up the subway and around the corner, and there was a lot of ambulances, and there was a lot of cop cars outside, and I walked up to the hotel, couldn't get in, of course, and asked my friend what had happened, and he said, they say that Sid has killed Nancy. And most of us who lived in the hotel did not believe that, and still don't. And, you know, we have our own theories about it. But Sid really was nothing more than a young boy who kind of fell into the rock and roll dream and bit off a little more than he could chew, I think, you know? And became a caricature somewhat of that person. And it was a sad story in a way, because they were very much in love in their very twisted, dysfunctional way. But I wanted to write a song about those times. It's called Chelsea Hotel 78. And I want to thank you once again for coming out to see us. And please, one more time, big round of applause for Jimmy Griffin. We will have merchandise, Jimmy Griffin merchandise up there. And I will sell some stuff too. Chelsea once at 723rd. We came to live inside the myth of everything we'd heard. The poets on their bar stools, they just love it when it rains. They comb their hair in the mirror and grow addicted to the pain. Makes no sense, and it makes perfect sense. You know it makes no sense, and it makes perfect sense. Spider and the boys, just before the cops arrived and took up with the noise. It was nothing special, just another bar. The Max's Kansas City light makes everyone a star. And it makes no sense. It makes perfect sense. And it makes perfect sense. And it makes no sense. You know it makes no sense. It makes perfect sense. And it makes perfect sense. Called up to a room, said, come help with Sid. We went down, looked around, the dealer let us in. We thought he was hysterical, the knife it was a joke. Don't know if he did what he said he did, nobody really knows. I stood out on the sidewalk as they busted through the door. In a white tuxedo jacket, cop had a my charm. He loved to show off that thing, no one knows for sure, we know it. Found out in their black underwear, dead on the bathroom floor, and it makes no sense. It makes perfect sense. And it makes perfect Chelsea once at 723rd. We came to live inside the myth of everything we'd heard. The poets on their bar stools, they just love it when it rains. They comb their hair in the mirror and grow addicted to the pain. Makes no sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense.
It makes no sense.
You know it makes no sense.
Makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Makes no sense.
And we all moved out. We all moved on.
Makes no sense.
And we all moved out.